Today on the Morning Edition, a new push to keep downtown Anchorage safer, why police are stepping up patrols, and what they want you to know before your next night out with us.
A shooter opens fire in a New York City office building. I'm Bradley Blackburn at the scene with what we know about the victims and the latest on the investigation.
And later, it is your kids' chance to argue and not get grounded. How a Southwest Florida courtroom is flipping the script and letting kids bring their parents before a judge as the Morning Edition starts now. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on a Tuesday. Can you imagine bringing your mom and dad to court?
We're kids' court.
Arguing?
This ought to be good. There is definitely some things that I would have argued my parents in court if given the chance.
State your case.
I'd be embarrassed about
dessert
heading
before dinner.
I know, but heading home, and then I'd be afraid of, is mom going to punish me for that?
No, it's all in good fun.
In fact, ice cream for dinner.
There you go.
That'd be amazing right there. Maybe some ice cream this morning. Who knows? But we are waking up this morning with some rain showers across parts of South Central. We're still going to see at least the first half of the day where we'll hold on to some sunshine. This coming off of what was a gorgeous Monday across South Central, where we did manage to warm once again into the 70s. We're currently at 59 degrees this morning, with temperatures for the most part remaining fairly mild. And we are going to see another run with those temperatures likely making climb into the lower 70s later today. Of course, for areas of the valley where we're already holding on to rain showers, it may be a bit harder for those temperatures to warm near 70 as we're already seeing those overcast skies. 59 in Anchorage with some partly cloudy skies, sunshine out towards the Kenai as well as parts of Prince William Sound and the Copper River Basin. Most of the rain today really favoring the Matsu Valley. And then eventually later this evening, it will spread south across the rest of South Central, becoming more scattered to periodic as we welcome in your Wednesday morning. In fact, for the Wednesday morning commute, you can expect to see some of that rainfall. Notice the heaviest activity continues to push through the central interior and then eventually out towards the eastern interior. This comes from a frontal system that's draped across the state, which will keep that rain with us the next couple of days. The interior will see drier weather arriving by Thursday, but for now and into your Wednesday, expect those temperatures as well as the rain showers to remain on the cooler side and that rain to stick around the next couple of days. 71 here in Anchorage today. We've got those showers to the north. We will see some winds increasing overnight into our Wednesday. And you can see that rain does ramp up into the overnight hours. I'll have more on that 7-day forecast for you coming up.
This past weekend marked the first full weekend of stepped-up patrols in downtown Anchorage. The new police procedure is focusing on safety. It all comes after a deadly shooting at the bar last weekend. Anchorage Police took extra precautions, including doubling the amount of patrols and not allowing parking on 4th Avenue between G and each street.
The new measures were created in collaboration with business owners in the area, including the owner of the Gaslight, who says activity outside, not inside the bar, is what led to the shooting. As a result, he said bagging the meters out front reduced the number of people there and the chance for violence.
The police, they did a good job. When someone tried to park, they would come up to the car and ask them to move along. And so the front area was pretty empty, and everything went fine.
An APD spokesperson said there were only 2 calls in the area, both of them for fighting. Anchorage Police are seeing fewer assault calls downtown and in Government Hill so far this year. According to APD, assault reports in those areas dropped from 161 in the first half of 2024 to 102 so far in 2025. The city saw a jump in assaults last year, but overall, citywide numbers are down significantly this year, with 826 fewer assault calls compared to this time last year.
Anchorage Police are taking technology to new heights, expanding their drone program to improve service in the community. The drones have already been used in several incidents across the city. Thermal drone video was used to locate an armed suspect in a shooting investigation near Sullivan Arena. The hiker who was attacked and dragged off an Anchorage trail last week by a bear was also found by drones. Right now, 11 police officers are certified drone pilots. They use the technology when needed and also when it's appropriate.
And if we're going to be looking in somebody's windows, it's because we have a search warrant that's specifically for that location that we're looking in to windows for. But that's something we always have to look at when we're talking about bringing technology that is going to infringe on any right to privacy.
Chief Case says the drones increase public safety and officers do everything they can to provide transparency.
Drones were also deployed to help locate a 21-year-old Romanian student who drowned in DeLong Lake. According to APD, the man was paddleboarding on the lake Sunday and was not wearing a life jacket. APD reports he didn't know how to swim. Friends of the 21-year-old realized they hadn't seen or heard from him in at least 15 minutes and called 911. When first responders arrived, they recovered a paddleboard floating on the lake. John Stahl lives along the lake and says it was particularly crowded that day, maybe double than normal.
As far as I know, nobody would have seen him go under it. So that I would have imagined that part of the incident happened really quickly, and nobody was aware of that was what was happening.
Results of an autopsy have not yet been released.
A plane crash in Dillingham sends shockwaves through entire communities from here in Alaska down to the lower 48.
This morning, we're learning more about the 33-year-old who we now know hails from North Dakota. Georgina Fernandez spoke with John Lansedal's family.
There was one phrase the family kept saying to me when talking about their son that really sticks out, that he was a kid in a candy store. They described to me his fascination with Alaska, the outdoors, and his love for adventure. The family tells me they have been feeling a wave of emotions after learning that their son, 33-year-old John Lansedal, died in a plane crash last Friday. Lansedal was piloting a small plane that crashed in Dillingham, where he worked as a fish and game wildlife biologist. The North Dakota native, the family tells me, had a passion for mountain goats, hunting, caring for animals, people, and aviation. His family told us that he described living in Alaska as being a kid in a candy store, and it's like Yellowstone on steroids.
It was bigger mountains, bigger animals, bigger and badder things for him to chase and for him to be immersed in, and he always talked about it. It was almost like he got bored with what he was doing in the lower 48, and he needed a little more of a challenge or a shock, or he was kind of shock is probably he was kind of a thrill seeker in that sense.
The family tells me right now his body is in Anchorage, and they're waiting for him to make it back home to North Dakota. Georgina Fernandez, Alaska's news source.
Chugach State Park Rangers are advising people in the area near Barbara Falls to be especially vigilant after a bear attack over the weekend. One individual was hospitalized after the mauling in Eagle River on Saturday involving a brown bear with cubs near the falls around 10 in the morning. As of last check, the Barbara Falls Trail is open, but a section near the South Fork confluence is closed. Rangers are advising people in the area to stay alert, carry bear deterrent, and leash any pets. And the Department of Fish and Game is recommending extra caution this season as well.
It's just when everybody's out and about, and the bears are out and about too. They're trying to access salmon, they're trying to access berries, they're trying to get ready for winter time.
It is peak salmon season, and just like humans, bears are taking advantage. Fish and Game also says this is the time of year the agency receives the most reports of interactions between bears and humans. Kenai wildlife biologist Christopher Bottom says most of them end positively for both species, but you still want to make sure you give plenty of space to wildlife. Consider traveling in groups and be noisy so you reduce your chance of spooking a bear. Anyone with sightings of concern should file a report on the Fish and Game website.
In Juno, a major energy project is in the works.
The city and borough are set to construct a $240 million hydro project beginning this year.
You want to have to make sure you have enough of the elevation difference and the flow of water and the mechanics there to be able to drive, enough energy to be able to turn that into electrical energy.
The city is partnering with the company Ameresco to undertake this massive project. It'll be vast as it's expected to put out 19 megawatts of power. For context, it's expected to reduce diesel fuel use in the region by 88 million gallons overall.
And the project will break ground later this year following a bidding process for materials with an anticipated completion date of 2028. Juno was a good fit for the project because of the terrain.
Turning now to Capitol coverage, the governor released new details on the upcoming special session.
It happened just hours after lawmakers said they plan to vote on overriding $51 million in education cuts. Weeks after asking some Republicans to sit out, the governor is now inviting all lawmakers to show up from day one. In a video posted, he said he'll push for statewide school open enrollment, bonuses to recruit teachers, and more funding for reading programs, saying student outcomes have been declining. Hearings are expected to begin on Sunday.
Despite declining student outcomes for several decades, the legislature as a body has failed to reform our education system and failed to act upon legislation that I proposed for the past 2 years to do that.
Coming up, from screen time to safety, when is the right time to give your kid a smartphone? What experts say every parent should know before handing over that first device.
And turbulence for Spirit Airlines, the carrier announcing plans to furlough hundreds of pilots. What's behind the move and how it could impact travelers.
Rain showers already impacting parts of the valley. The rest of South Central will tap into that potential overnight into your Wednesday. I'll have more on that. But first at sunrise, 5:25 in Anchorage, 4:44 in Juno. Your full forecast is next.
Well, good morning, everyone. We are back on your Tuesday, waiting on the Bears to wake up. Looks like we may have one way in the back.
Way in the back
The
there.
early bear catches the salmon.
Look, you can see it moving. There you go.
Like this night vision, though, Aaron. Good morning.
Yeah, probably still enjoying some slumber on this Tuesday morning, and we are waking up with some rain showers that are already impacting areas of the Matsu Valley. Now, we did officially hit 71 degrees yesterday in Anchorage. That marks our 7th 70-degree day this month, which is right where we should be for this time of year. July typically brings 7 days where those temperatures warm into the 70s. We have a chance. We'll see it today. Not everyone, as we are favoring some rain moving back in across South Central. Most of that rain to the north and to the interior. And of course, as you head out towards the slope, we've got some ongoing rain showers. Many locations waking up to those temperatures in the 40s and the 50s. And the best chance for at least any peaks of some sunshine continues to be areas of South Central, as well as out towards Southeast. You can see Yakutat, 53 degrees, Juno coming in with a temperature of 60. So we still got that ridge of high pressure embedded out towards the Bering Sea, parts of the Aleutian Islands with some coastal fog sticking around. Fairly quiet for immediate coastal regions of southwest Alaska, but you can see some rain pushing through the Yukon Delta with the bulk of the activity occurring through the interior as well as parts of the Matsu Valley this morning. So we have already seen upwards of about 1/10 of an inch of rain out towards Fairbanks. Less than 1/10 of an inch out towards Kotzebue. Notice those darker blues you're seeing. That's some heavier downpours that have occurred. And we are going to favor most of the rain today for the central interior. So be prepared for a wet and cool day for Fairbanks and surrounding locations. Notice that just how widespread that rain is. We'll also see areas of the Matsu Valley where we'll hold on to some passing showers throughout the day. That will steadily build south overnight into our Wednesday. So by the morning commute tomorrow, we will begin to see some rain pushing across South Central. We'll also see some breezy conditions that develop tonight and then carry us through the day tomorrow. So be prepared for some rain for your Wednesday. As that tapers off, we will see the return to at least some sunshine in the forecast. Now, for the interior, you'll see that rain gradually taper off by Wednesday. You may see some isolated showers Thursday, but then those temperatures rapidly warm back into the upper 70s, possibly even some lower 80s in the forecast. Meanwhile, here across South Central, that rain again for today, largely favoring areas to the north into the valley. This is also where we're going to see some of that heavier activity, taking into account what's going to fall today and into our Wednesday. You can see Wasilla, areas out towards Talkeetna could see an outside chance of up to 3/4 of an inch of rain, while the rest of South Central sees about 1/10 to less than 1/2 an inch of rainfall. So we'll be watching for that into our Wednesday. Largely dry today with increasing clouds into the evening hours. We'll also see some of those winds increasing as well tonight into our Wednesday. But still a decent shot that we could warm near 70 degrees for parts of South Central today. So still beautiful weather, 66 in Valdez, 73 degrees in Golcana. You can see the valley, those rain showers are remaining. Talkeetna on the cooler side due to the rain already occurring. 72 in Willow, 72 degrees in Palmer. You can see Anchorage likely topping out near 70 degrees. And of course, late PM showers will arrive across South Central today. And then as we welcome in our Wednesday, that's the best chance for rain. And we will be on the cooler side. Don't be surprised, much like last Friday, We could see temperatures across South Central tomorrow staying in the upper 50s.
All right, thanks, Aaron. Well, back to school shopping is in full swing, and parents may be wondering whether they should get their kid or their child a smartphone this year.
A new study is shedding some light on possible risks associated with phones for younger kids. Jen Sullivan has advice for parents and explains the many safety features to help monitor your kids.
It's a question many parents ask. When should I get my child a smartphone?
The most important thing that parents can do is delay the age at which their child gets immersed in internet culture.
Jonathan Haidt is the author of The Anxious Generation, a book about how smartphones and social media are creating a rise in mental illness among children. And many studies support that theory. A recent study from the Journal of Human Development and Capabilities found smartphone use before age 13 was linked to a decline in mental health and well-being. The data was self-reported, and it's unknown what type of cell phones they were using. Haidt says kids between the ages of 10 to 14 are particularly vulnerable.
We must protect kids' brains in that age. That's when the maximum damage is done, especially for girls.
There is good news for parents, though. Many companies are advancing their technologies with parental controls and kid-friendly features. If you're getting your child an iPhone, Apple says it's important to create an account for them and put in their age.
That's an important step because what that does is that it then creates privacy protections that will go throughout their experience.
Julia DeOlios with Apple says parents can also manage how much time their child is on their phone with Apple's Screen Time. The Find My app allows you to track your child's location and give you alerts like when they leave school.
We also have features like communication safety, which can detect nudity in photos and videos that children either receive or attempt to send, and then it provides warnings and helpful resources.
Google Family Link offers parental features for both iPhones and Androids to monitor your kids. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Spirit Airlines is planning to furlough hundreds of pilots due to its financial struggles and a reduced flying schedule. 270 pilots will be furloughed and 140 more will be demoted. The airline said the move is necessary to return to profitability.
The new downgrades from captain to first officer will begin on October 1st. The furloughs will take effect on November 1st. In March, the airline managed to come out of bankruptcy protection after 4 months of restructuring.
Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced plans to overhaul a national program that compensates people injured by vaccinations. Kennedy has long been a critic of the vaccine injury compensation program.
He has previously argued the program ignored its mandate to quickly and fairly cover vaccine injury claims. Analysts say Kennedy's effort could open the door for HHS to prop up debunked theories that vaccines cause autism, while also casting doubt on other vaccines for diseases like COVID-19 and HPV.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically and stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.